Hi, I'm Sonny Griffith, and I have a riddle for you. What do you get when you cross a classic piece of poetry together with some trees to climb and some country rockers? Well, what you get is mixed effects, and that's what's coming up next.
Hey, wow.
Welcome back to Mixed Effects. We're joined on the show by Mr. Ron Easley, who is the bass player for a group called the Country Rockers. Welcome to the show, Ron.
Thanks, Sonny.
Tell us a little bit about how the Country Rockers got together.
Well, about 1980, I used to go down to a club on the 2020 Lamar called the Sunflower Club, and there were this man, singer Sam Baird, and Ringo, the drummer. They had a woman bass player at the time. Just a three-piece band with a bare light bulb, you know, above the stage for their lighting, and just doing this wonderful music. And it turned out I'd be going there for like maybe 2 or 3 weeks in a row, Friday nights, just to see this band perform. And then so we quit going. About 6 years later, I moved down to north central Mississippi and was living near Holly Springs, and went into this roadhouse. One night I'd never gone in there. I'd drive by and it said Charles's Place. And then I never caught my eye. And then one day I drove by and someone had whited out Charles and spray painted in red Dennis, and kind of ran out of room at the end, had to crowd the letters. So it said Dennis Place. So I went in that night and there was Sam Baird singing with another group, and before I knew it I was sitting in, and then next thing I knew I was hired.
Yeah.
And then I started booking the band up around Memphis after that, and we began to work more in the rock clubs or clubs around town rather than out in the sticks.
So that's how you became the Country Rockers.
Right, that's how it happened.
All right. Well, have you guys got an album out or anything?
Yeah, we just did an album for New Rose Records of Paris, France, and it's called Free Range Chicken. That's a chicken that's not cooped up and forced to eat the grain. It's allowed to roam the barnyard and eat whatever it chooses.
It's free to roam the range.
Free range chicken.
All right. And have you guys, what else are you going to do? You got any gigs coming up?
Well,
soon?
Yeah, we have an appearance at the Antenna Club on the 28th. We'll be opening for Walk the West down there, and that's the only one in the near future that I can think of right now.
All right. Now I know that you guys have a video that we're going to take a look at right now. And what's the name of the video?
The video is Wipeout. It's a drum solo featuring Ringo, and this was filmed at the Loose End last Friday night.
Okay, so let's take a look at this brand new video.
The old Safari tip, Wipeout!
All right. Well, that's quite a good video. I must say I enjoy that myself.
Right.
Now, you said that video features the drummer Ringo.
Right.
Tell me some about Ringo.
Ringo is actually, his name's Gaius Farnham, and he's quite a ladies' man for one thing. Actually, all he does, he's sort of retired. He's 75 years old, and we call him a professional grocery shopper. And he can be seen at Cecil's any day of the week, and I think he goes there to see the ladies as much as he does the grocery shop. But he does grocery shop.
Yeah, and you said he's been playing drums for a long time.
59 or 60 years. He has it down to the minute. It's something like that, 59 or 60 years.
And so he has a good basis as far as experience for your band?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's played, all kinds of music, but he's especially good with the country rockers.
Now, this video, I know that you guys plan to send this to New York to try to get the country rockers on David Letterman.
That's one plan. Robert Gordon, a local journalist and cinematographer here, approached me and interviewed the group for Spin magazine, which should be out in a couple of months. And he also, through his writings, David Letterman people approached him and wanted the names of 5 Memphis bands that he thought might be good on the David Letterman show. And so he sent the country rockers and encouraged me to go ahead and make the video so that we might submit it to him and hopefully get on the show. That'd be great. Go to New York.
Well, what do you think the chances are?
I'd say they're pretty good. I think we're right in the bag of wackiness for that format.
And so you guys are going to be at the Antenna. Are there any other places that people can look to see the country rockers at?
At present, I don't have any other shows lined up.
What are some of the places that you have played in the past that
we used
you
to
might
play
go back to?
Fred's Hideout, but it no longer exists. We'll probably return to the Loose End. That was a nice little show, and hopefully we'll be on some fairs this spring and summer, but like I said, that's all pending right now.
Well, what kind of a following have you guys developed at this point?
We pretty much have the crowd that goes to the rock clubs. They somehow enjoy our band, even though we're not rock or hard and loud, but they seem to enjoy it. We play 45 minutes or so, and they say, "Yeah, well, that's pretty weird."
Y'all have any groupies?
Ringo does.
Ringo has
quite a
some
bevy.
groupies?
Yeah.
A bevy of groupies. And so you guys are going to be on, are there any other possibilities for TV appearances?
Possibly the Nashville Network. We opened recently for Ben Vaughn, a show here in Memphis, and I was approached by Danny Amos from the Nashville Network, and I intend to get the copy of this video to him and hopefully go on to the Nashville Now. But it's all in the works, So
now, is Wipeout on the album?
Yes, Wipeout's on the album,
and right now it's only available in Europe.
Pretty much. It will be available, I think, at Poplar Tunes soon. We're working on the distribution. It's rather difficult to get the records over here. Also, Tower record stores should be carrying New Rose, the entire New Rose line, but they don't have a store in Memphis. So, and I did take a couple of copies down to the library. I don't know if they've gotten them into the
checkout of
right.
availability yet.
But you could ask about it. They do have 2 copies there.
And okay, so you're not really rock and you're not really country. What kinds of songs do you guys play?
Well, we do some country, backwoods country, and most of it's from the 50s and 60s. It's we also do some rockabilly, things like Finally, an old Webb Pierce, Kitty Wells recording of a Mel Tillis song. I think that's one of the best songs on the record, and then like Eddie Bond's Rockin' Daddy from Ding Dong, Tennessee, which is pretty much rockabilly. Mm-hmm. So and Sam came up with the name the Country Rockers, and that pretty much we're country and we rock.
Yeah, now that song, Wipeout, is instrumental, but do you all do vocals?
Oh yes, well, we have, in fact, there are only 2 instrumentals on the entire record. And I wanted to include those because they're part of our act, but most of the material are songs with words, usually about drinking or losing your lover or, the usual country treatments, but we tend to go for the more obscure material. I like to dig up the songs that, hey, what's that? I've never heard that before, And so we dig deep for our material. Although it's not original, it's fairly unknown.
All right, well, I want to thank you for being on the show.
My
Ron
pleasure.
Easley of the Country Rockers.
Thanks, Sonny. It's been a pleasure.
And we're going to keep on with Mixed Effects, so you stay tuned.
Up on the housetop, reindeer paws. Out jumps good old Santa Claus. Down through the chimney with lots of toys. All for the little ones' Christmas joys. Ho, 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 who wouldn't go? Oh.
And we're joined now on the show by David Aster of the Aster Tree Service. Welcome to the show, David.
Thank you, Sonny.
We are going to talk a little bit about what exactly your service provides for people. We know that you trim trees, but what else do you do?
Yeah, well, also we trim them, remove them, takedowns. We grind out stumps, ugly stumps in front yards. And basically it's like a landscaping, except in the tree yard of the business and all. And we prune them out, take lower limbs out, try to help the grass grow. It gets involved. Limbs over houses, softwood trees that might break over houses, we'll trim them away, try to keep a clearance. Just general landscaping with tree work in general.
I know that the light, gas, and water people have to trim trees because of power lines. Do you ever have to doing of that when Light, Gas, and Water wants somebody to have it done, or do they do it themselves?
Well, they do it. That's a city service. If you have trees going up into your power lines where you're watching your lights blinking on and off, you call the city, and they'll take care of that free of charge.
Free of charge.
Yeah,
Well,
for once.
speaking of charge, how much does it cost for someone to have you come out and do a little trim on their tree?
Well, it really varies on each tree. Like some trees will be out in the front yard and there'll be virtually nothing underneath, and we can allow every limb to drop. And sometimes we get up in trees and there's 4 or 5 power lines running up underneath, houses underneath, and that's when the time consuming comes in. Each limb has to be lowered down by rope, guided through the wires. It really varies. You'd have to, each tree is different. Each job's different.
So the charge goes based on how long it takes to do the job,
Yes,
not necessarily how big a tree it is, because you could get a big tree down very quickly.
Well, yeah, that also, and also the equipment involved you need. Some of these big trees, you need cranes out there on the jobs, big trucks hauling this stuff off. It just really varies.
Do you ever have to hire on extra people for a special occasion or special job?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, this tree we're going to do here, we'll be hiring a crane a little later on to pick the large pieces up, put them into the truck. And I always keep 2 other fellows working with me. I got a real good crew for me now. And
well, tell us about the most interesting experience, most interesting experience, if I can get it out, that you've had with the Aster Tree Service.
Let's see, the most interesting. I guess that would be the most dangerous one. Then.
Yeah, it might be dangerous. That sounds interesting.
Let's see. One time I was up in the tree. I had my rope tied on to me, and we were pulling on this chainsaw trying to get it started. Well, the rope has a slip knot. It's pretty much like mountain climbing. Well, that slip knot started slipping. Boy, I started down that tree fast, and the weight of the chainsaw turned me upside down, and I was going down head first, right toward the ground. Now, I've never fallen out of a tree before, but I've slipped, and that slip knot caught the last 2 minutes, and it was like a circus act or something. I mean, I was coming down head first, and all of a sudden it just caught, and it just started bouncing up and down.
Up and down. Was that over cement or over ground?
Over ground, but it still would have hurt.
It still would have been,
yeah.
Especially going head first. Well, all this danger and intrigue has really inspired me. I think it's about time for us to head out and actually climb a tree and see about actually doing some trimming.
So I know, get a good idea of what it's like going.
Yeah. I mean, I know you've done this before, but I haven't done it, and I want everyone to get a real feel for what it's like. So, so we're going to head out to this place that you've got picked out for us already, and get up on the tree and just take it down.
It's a good 50, 60-foot tree I got for you,
Hey,
too.
doesn't bother me a bit. All right,
Ready?
let's head on out.
Okay.
All right, well, this tree looks pretty good for a little trim here. Let's see. You think I could do any of
Oh,
this?
sure you could. All it takes is a little nerve and the right equipment, and you'll be right up there.
All right, well, let's
Just don't look down.
Just don't look down. Well, I'm definitely not going to look down, but what do I need? What do I need?
Okay, first thing you need is these things here. This is what we call gaffs. They allow you to more or less walk up the tree. What you do is stick these in the tree about as hard as you can, and you will just virtually walk right up the tree. No hugging, climbing, anything like that. Also, what you need is a climbing belt. This allows you to tie your rope on. Your rope goes here, hang from the tree, so if something does happen, you're not going to hit the ground. You'll just fall a few feet at the most.
And then be hanging.
Yeah, and then be hanging till we come up and get you. So this here's a safety belt. Well, we do this when you have a quick thing to where you have to clip on. You throw this around the tree, clip it onto your other clip like so. Okay, well listen, here, I'm going to get you all suited up to climb the tree.
Can I wear all this stuff?
Well, I tell you got sneakers on, and what you really need is a pair of heels on this thing right here so that these gaffs here, they could slip right off your feet, which could result in a little accident.
Well, I'm not afraid or anything, but I'm perfectly macho enough and brave enough to do this. But seeing as how I got sneakers on, I think I'll just defer to you.
Okay, well I'll tell you what. I'll do it this first time, and then you can do the next one. All right?
Yeah. That's a ticket. Yeah, that's it. All right. So you just put it on there. You got to clip it on. Now, is that about how heavy is that?
This is about 10 pounds here. Spikes are about 15 pounds. Then once you got your chainsaw on you, all in all, you got about an extra 30 pounds of weight on you.
How difficult is it to get used to all that extra weight?
Difficult, difficult. It's hard in tight situations with all this weight, and you get up there and you're trying to move around with it all. It can really.
It slows you down a bit, huh?
Yeah, it sure does.
And how long have you been doing this?
Been doing this for 17 years now. Hadn't fallen out of a tree yet.
Amazing. I think I'd probably fall out the first time. That's why I'm going to let you take it on.
Okay, well, I'm going to show you how, and you do the next one, all right?
Okay, yeah, that sure thing. No problem.
Okay. Now, what I always do is I always take my rope up. You got to have a rope up in the tree.
I think it would help.
What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go up to the top up here, put my rope in, we'll drop down, walk out on the end of that limb, and it's a large limb and it's over the concrete here. So what we'll need to do is have a rope on it and lower it down by rope so we don't smash the concrete up.
Well, sounds good.
Okay.
And I will just sit here. I'm going to put on my shade so that I don't get blinded by the sun. And I think you got some yourself that's going to help you out.
Safety glasses.
All right. All right, so he's going right on up, just taking it all apart. Looks like you were born to climb.
Yeah, half monkey.
Half man, half monkey. Looks like you got the situation in hand. I'm gonna head on back to the studio and just head on back yourself when you get this done, and I'll meet you there.
When I cut this limb, the limb is literally going to swing out that way, and then it's going to come swinging back. The ground men, what they do is swings out, and they'll let it mount a slack in, so when it comes back in, that limb's not going to hit me. Ready? Okay, Sonny, now I showed you how easy it is. I'm gonna come on down, we're gonna suit you up and give you a try at it. No problem.
Needless to say, the favorite part of a tree trimming is coming down out of the tree. Seven, 4, 3, 5, 8, 2, 8.
All right, David's back finally. How'd it go?
Yep, you ready to do the next one?
Yeah. Let's get you mic'd up here. I know this stuff's making a lot of noise, but you're going to show me how to put this stuff on so that I can trim it.
Virtually walk up a tree.
That's right.
Okay, first thing I'm going to do is put this is what we call gaffs, is a professional word for it. These were, let's see, okay.
Is that the left one or the right one?
This is the left one. Here. Okay. What I want to do is get it tight right in here, because when you're walking up that tree, the spikes alone will be pushing in on your inner thighs there, so you want to get that good and tight.
All right. I definitely don't want to fall.
Oh, no, I don't want to fall. Listen, when you're hanging on, just remember you're hanging on for life.
That's right. You got that right. There. Truer words were never spoke, as they say. Have your gaffs ever fallen off?
No, never have. Well, I always check my equipment about every week or so. I'll go through it, make sure nothing's rotting out on it. Because I have been up in a tree before, and the leather strap was about quarter inch or so from breaking. And I'm telling you, I was up about 50 feet, and it did not feel good.
Oh, that's a comfortable feeling.
Okay, so up here.
Just call me Paul Bunyan, Lumberjack Joe, or whatever.
Okay, now we're gonna put the belt on you.
Now I can stand up in these things.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, now I'm not gonna put that on like so. The main thing to do is to turn it sideways and buckle it.
Okay. You can tell I'm a professional at this. All right. Okay, got that.
Now
and
scoop that
turn it
around
around.
there. Okay, now
Pull it.
Yeah, those through like that.
And this. See, I'm just a pro at this. I know exactly what's going on. And
looking more professional every second as a tree climber.
I'm a quick study, as they say.
Pick up quick on things, I hope, because there's only one chance up here.
Yeah, well, I got to make the best of my one chance. So.
Don't worry, son,
right.
I got faith in you.
All right, so we're ready to go here. And that's all it is?
Just
ready
remember,
to
just
go?
start walking up and go up till you get to the top.
Then when I get on the tree, I actually strap this around the tree.
Yeah, what you do is you'll take this. It's an adjustable belt, depending how big it is, but you, like the tree's through here, and then you'll clip it right there.
Exactly.
And then you can go up just like these telephone pole climbers do.
All right, well now I'm going to go try and trim a tree, and that's a nice little tongue twister there. And now we're going to have a special performance done by Stephen Welsh. It's a performance of the poem The Hollow Men by T.S. Eliot, and I'm going to go trim a tree. Thank you for being here on the show, David, and hope to see you again next week.
Thank you, Sonny.
In the pine so scented air, somewhere that's
You're just a hollow man. Put the bullet in my hand. You're just a hollow man. Put the bullet in my hand. You're just a hollow man. Put the bullet in my hand.
Mr. Kurtz, he dead. A penny for the old guy. We are the hollow men. We are the stuffed men. Leaning together, headpiece filled with straw. Alas, our dried voices, when we whisper together, are quiet and meaningless as wind in dry grass, or rat's feet over broken glass in our dry cellar. Shape without form, shade without color, paralyzed force, gesture without motion. Those who have crossed with direct eyes to death's other kingdom remember us, if at all, not as lost, violent souls, but only as the hollow men, the stuffed men. Eyes I dare not meet in dreams. In death's dream kingdom, these do not appear. There the eyes are sunlight on a broken column. There is a tree swinging, and voices are in the wind singing, more distant and more solemn than a fading star. Let me be no nearer in death's dream kingdom. Let me also wear such deliberate disguises, rat's coat, crow's skin, cross staves, in a field, behaving as the wind behaves. No nearer, not that final meeting in the twilight kingdom. This is the dead land. This is the cactus land. Here the stone images are raised. Here they receive the supplication of a dead man's hand, under the twinkle of a fading star. Is it like this in death's other kingdom, waking alone, at the hour when we are trembling with tenderness, lips that would kiss, form prayers to broken stone? The eyes are not here. There are no eyes here in this hollow valley. This valley of dying stars, this broken jar of our lost kingdoms. In this last of meeting places, we grope together and avoid speech, gathered on this beach of the tumid river, sightless, unless the eyes reappear, as the perpetual star, multifoliate rose of death's twilight kingdom, the hope only of empty men. Here we go round the prickly pear, prickly pear, prickly pear. Here we go round the prickly pear at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, now zoom in, camera 1 to a close-up.
Between the idea and the reality, between the motion and the act, falls the shadow. For thine is the kingdom. Between the conception and the creation, between the emotion and the response, falls the shadow. Life is very long. Between the desire and the spasm, between the potency and the existence, between the essence and the descent, falls the shadow. For thine is the kingdom. For thine is, life is. For thine is the This is the way the world ends. This is the way the world ends. This is the way the world ends. Not with a bang, but a whimper.
You're just a hollow man.